My name is Jamie, and this is the vlog for September 4th, 2020. It's 10:23 p.m. Uh, and I'm drinking my tea out of a Captain Marvel cup. So today was a beautiful day, a little warm, probably in the mid upper 80s. I was kind of hoping fall was right around the corner. You can kind of feel it in the breeze and in the dryness in the air that's coming in, but no sign of it cooling off, which is I hope I look forward to fall. So I'm looking forward to it. I was looking for a way before I shot this to not look so tired. I don't think that's physically possible. It might be with a whole lot of makeup, but I haven't worn makeup in months. So yay, COVID. I don't know. I wasn't really a heavy makeup wearer to begin with, but I usually wore it when I went to work. It wore off halfway through the day while going to being a personal trainer and sweating. So I didn't really put too much stock in it anyway. But today I did a lot of organizing. I organized the kitchen. It is Most of the counters are chiefly cleared off. I'm sitting at a dining room table that I can see the end of, and the whole table's been wiped down. The floor has been vacuumed. It constantly needs vacuuming. Welcome to hard floors. They always need to be cleaned. But yeah, lots of balls rolling right now. I have some folks coming over to a local company that's been working for me before, actually, coming over to pick up all of the yard waste that I've accumulated, trying to clean up and reclaim my yard from the wild that is Western Washington, which involves probably close to 20 compost sized paper yard waste bags. They probably weigh somewhere around 60 to 80 pounds a piece. So a lot of work there. Plus the leftover fencing from when I tore down the already rotting wooden fence in the back and replaced it. That big mound of junk needs to go. And they need to tear down the aluminum terrible shed that I have right now. Um, there's not a whole lot in there that needs to be stored elsewhere. I have a temporary solution for that right now. So underneath an awning tucked away somewhere. So at least it won't get rained on if we get rain before I get my new shed. I have contacted a septic designer and they are coming out in a couple of weeks to look over the situation and give us an estimate on what it would be to um, rebuild the septic tank at this point. It works for us and it's fine, but it is not up to code. Wasn't up to code when we bought the house either, but nobody really knows how old it is, probably from the 60s, maybe a little later than that. And it definitely is getting some sludge buildup and needs to be fixed. So we are looking into a more up to code septic. So that's par for the course here. I've got a concrete guy coming out next week to look at the foundations of the house, tell us what's possible with the build, and give me an estimate for laying a pad um, where the shed is being torn down. So this is kind of convenient. It's all lining up nicely right now. To get a bigger shed that I can plop on top of that for weightlifting. So I'll have a small studio I can work out of in the meantime. My nutrition program is chugging along so far. I'm pretty proud of that. The Y is going to reopen in a few days, but I think I might have already said this on this video, maybe not. I'm taking about 2 or 3 weeks off to deal with some stuff at home. So, um, everyone's in good health. It's not bad. It's just stuff. So, yeah, that's been the day. Lots of juggling. I did go back and read some of my blogs. I have a blog, www.jsjourneybook.com, and I've had it forever. But I finally got the URL back after some company stole it from me. Thank you very much for 5 years. So I've been writing in that sporadically. I think I'm going to try to write more. This project has sort of taken the place of that writing, but going back, I really miss it. And it's interesting because I wrote on day one of when everything paused out here. And I think I even called it When the World Paused, day one or day zero or something like that. And then I got to the point where I stopped counting the days after 100. I still go back, and there's not 100 blog entries. They're sporadic. When I mean, I'm sure my life reflects the same as many of the people who may be listening to this right now. The days tend to blur together. They all look a lot the same, so there's not always something super interesting to report or something profound or some new revelation to bring in. So I didn't always write in it every day. Um, but man, I kind of feel like a prophet. Day one, I mentioned that I had a feeling this was going to change the way we do things forever. And I still think that's true. Here we are almost 6 months later, and things have changed significantly. I think I wrote about the day I got a mask for my kid, which seemed really weird at the time. But I actually ordered a few when I did order it because I had a feeling that they weren't going anywhere anytime soon. Guess what? Haven't gone anywhere anytime soon. In fact, when I went to go visit my friend the other day, she makes masks sometimes, and she made some really cool Pokemon masks. And saw my kiddo dressed up as Pikachu in a hand-me-down costume she got from her cousins. So she gave us some Pokemon masks that she can wear to school. So that's super cool too. Um, but just branching out. I mean, we've had to branch out and find different ways to do things. Ordering groceries and picking them up is normal for us now. I used to hate people grocery shopping for me. But one of the blog entries I really liked because I think it reflects a lot of my philosophy as an adult and in life. I've as a coach, as a trainer, when I first got into this business, I knew I needed to and wanted to be in the trenches with my athletes and with my clients and wherever they are in life, not just in the gym. It's jumping into the trenches because your stress level affects your digestion, your sleep affects your hormones, everything is tied in. So the movement in the gym isn't just the workout in the gym. It's a piece of whatever else is going on in this grander picture. It's just a 45-minute whatever of the day. What else is happening in that day? You know, um, and I recall training a new mom, and I can relate to her so much. Um, I'm not going to mention her name on here, not that I think she watches these things, but just out of respect for my clients. So, and she was going through a real rough time with her kid. He wasn't sleeping. Uh, she was struggling. One thing new moms hear a lot is, oh, love these moments, enjoy them, you'll only get them now, which is fine and well intended, I'm sure. But when you're in the thick of it and all you can think of is how you wish this wasn't the moment you were going through right now, um, it's hard. And I've never sold that to any new parent at all. New motherhood especially is hard. The demands on us are different than they are on fathers. It just is, and that's okay. Um, but he was really struggling and she was really struggling. And towards the end of a workout, kind of you end up digging deep to do things you don't know you can do, and that cortisol just gets to a peak, and sometimes tears fled. And she just sat down after the workout and just sobbed. And in the middle of the gym, and that's fine. I sat down next to her and was running interference basically. I have my back to the track. We had kind of our own semi-private space, and I hugged her and cried with her for a few minutes because people don't need you to extend your hand from the top of the hill and say, "Hey, come on up." More often than not, people need you to hear them and not feel alone, and then show them how to climb out, and they'll come with you when they're ready, you know? I'm the same way. When I'm pissed off, I don't need somebody to try to fix it. I need somebody to make me feel like I am not nuts, and validate, I guess, um, and really empathize and have a deep compassion for. Um, and I try to do that in my parenting with my kiddo. And I don't think I've told this story yet, so I'll try to tell it quickly here because I'm at 10 minutes. Um, she was having a really rough day one day, just defiant and angry over things that she never would be. And I try to get to the root of it. I don't need the timeout thing and all that right now. Um, so she's just started breaking down and crying over something super minor. I forget what it was. It's something that normally wouldn't bother her one bit. It was like getting out of the car or something like that. Um, and it took a little while. And I was at my wit's end just listening to her cry. I didn't know what else to do. And then I just sat down with her, let her crawl in my lap, and just cry and be mad. And I asked her how she was feeling, and she said, I'm feeling very mad. And I'm like fuming because I can't fix it, and I'm frustrated. It's way top, and I'm trying to keep it under wraps, right? I'm like, okay, what's going on? And then she said something like, I miss daddy. And like at that moment, I'm like, this is it. This is what's happening. This is not, she's not, I don't want to get out of the car. She's having a moment where she really misses having her dad around. Okay. So are you sad? Yeah, I'm sad too. Okay, you know what? I miss daddy too. And we hugged and we both cried for a little bit. And for her to see me cry was a little startling for her, but I'm like, yeah, it's okay to be sad. This is okay. And we cried it out a little bit, and then we took a few deep breaths, and then we're like, okay, are we ready? Okay, yeah, we're ready. Okay, let's get out of the car. We were able to move on with the day. Um, Sometimes being in the trenches with each other is like the best thing we can do for a fellow human, not just like a kid or a client or something like that. One day she was super angry, so we took individually wrapped toilet paper rolls that I happened to have in the bathroom and hucked them as hard as we could at the wall. And every time we hucked one, we said something we were mad about. And it was a 48 pack of toilet paper. I think I had two of them on the rolls right now. So 46 packs of, rounds of toilet paper. We got down to the last two or three, and all of a sudden she threw it really hard. And this was probably in April when COVID had been going on for about a month. And she said, I don't know why nobody wants to be around me or play with me anymore. None of my friends want to see me. That's not what was happening. Of course, her friends wanted to see her and she wanted to play with them and vice versa. But the expression of that anger, we were finally able to get to the bottom of what's going on and then discuss it and then take a few deep breaths and move past it. You know, it makes it, that's a huge oversimplification. Obviously, people are dealing with trauma. There's a lot of being in that trench time, and there's a lot, it doesn't happen in a day or 15 minutes or an hour sometimes. Um, but I always wanted to be that person. I wanted to be that coach. I wanted to be that parent. I want to be that foster parent. I don't think I'm good at being that partner. I want to fix things when it comes to partnerships. And that is something that I can work on. So I'm going to listen more and I'm going to be that person, be in the trenches because everyone deserves to have someone in the trenches with them. It's a hard fight. Life's tough. Nobody gets out of it alive. So today was okay. And tomorrow will be better and busier.